Well, welcome guys, thanks for checking out this video. It has been quite a while since I've actually made my last one, and that was because I had a fair bit of delays. The main reason why is because I actually changed location. Now I finally got everything set up, and now I'm quite excited to jump on board and create more content for you guys. In this video we're going to be looking at the independent game release for the Sega Dreamcast titled Sturmwind. Now this game actually came out in 2012, a game I've been wanting to try and get my hands on for quite a while, but I didn't have the budget at the moment and it was always sold out. There were a couple of re-releases around in 2016, but now thanks to a company called Dragon Box Shop, you can actually they've been put into the Right Sprite web store, so you can pick these up from the UK. And of course, if you're interested in picking this up for yourself, you will find the link in the description box below. But for now, hitting that 2,000 subs, I thought I'd treat myself to an Classic actual HDMI adapter to capture better quality videos for you lot. But whilst actually making this video, I did actually come across some problems, and towards the end I managed to actually add some new capture footage using that actual Classic adapter, which is a lot better than using this generic VGA cable that I've used in the past, and that will connect into this VGA upscaler box. This was the only way my game capture would actually accept the signal, which is unfortunate because it would actually stretch the image a bit, creating a non-clear, blurrier effect. Another problem I came across whilst making this video, still trying to settle in and try and get more content. I'm originally using the Game Capture HD, the very first model. That was because it actually had the adapter to actually connect composite and component, so I can plug in my old actual systems. But now, thanks to a company called Level Hike, which I've covered a lot of videos, I basically got all my retro consoles now set up with HD. And thanks to a buddy of mine, he actually managed to let me just test out the HD 60S capture. So with that actual Classic adapter, the Dreamcast will be actually pumping out a 144p, 14 higher than HD actual resolution output, and this will be able to do that. But my actual PC does buckle with this, so I actually try to capture some footage to try and get the most close to 4K footage of the Dreamcast for you lot, to try and showcase these awesome games. But basically I couldn't really, the PC itself could not handle it, so I had to jump back and use this card. Anyway, so that's all the problems out of the way. Let's look at what you actually get with your purchase. So let's take away the film here. As you can see, it's in a dual case type of CD audio style, much like the NTSC J or even the American style of Dreamcast game casing. So you've got the information at the back. It's all very professionally printed, does have its own type of custom style with this. So it is compatible with the arcade stick as well, and there is some actual compatibility with the SD card thing that you can put in the back of the Dreamcast, which I haven't really looked into yet, but it's very interesting. So as we open it up, it does have a dual type of back cover as well. You can put that at the front to choose which one you like, and as you can see, this is a professionally printed disc, so there's no copying or any type of dodgy type of disc that you would have burned disc back in the day. This is all professionally done. So as you can see, it's a very nice work, very nice print work on there. So this, much like any independent Dreamcast game, as I stated before, these are just like what you would buy in a retail shop. So there's both sides. I like to choose I like to go for the Kraken, just because it reminds me of how it was advertised back in the day. So it's got some introductions here on how to actually use the game, and it's just got more information about the items that you pick up, you know, much like what we had manuals back in the day. So it's got some nice artwork, I've got to say. It's got a decent amount of information for you to know before getting into this game. Now this great independent game release is brought to us by a company called Duranik, which is the first time I've actually experienced a title from them, and this title does really show their passion for the actual Dreamcast itself. It has provided probably one of the most detailed independent games that we actually had when this got originally released. It does stand up from the crowd from the independent games, and if this actually came out at the time the Dreamcast was quite popular, this would still stand out of being probably one of the best shmups. With this interesting FMV backgrounds going on, it's high quality type of graphics, especially the type of game it is. It's interesting audio. So now let's jump into some gameplay. So here we are. This game does have compatibility with the VGA cable, so you got a 640 by 480 resolution output, so it does polish it really nicely with the actual output of the Dreamcast. You got your difficulty settings. I always jump into the options menu first to see what we got. You also have the option to put the vibration on and also adjust the screen in case your screen does have some compatibility issues on how you set that up. So it's very nice. And you got your bonuses here, so this is a really nice little touch that they've added here. Again, it's much like the trophies or Chivo systems that we got with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So when you actually unlock these, you do get some nice little unlockables, like the artwork that are designed and basically more information about how they made the game. It also provides you a nice guide of how to unlock these unlockables, which is very nice to actually work towards, so it gives you that more replayability. So I'm going to jump into a normal mode type of game, and it actually gives you 16 levels to choose from if you've actually progressed through them all. So I'm just going to show you the first one, and I'll just show you a couple of the levels, not to spoil things further later on in case you haven't picked this up yet. First and foremost, Sturmwind is a side-scrolling shoot-em-up, or a shmup as it's mostly known as, being personally one of my favourite genres, but I'm never that great at them, so I pussied out and I put it on easy, just to make sure I can actually progress with this. For you veterans out there is a hard mode to test your skills. The player controls a ship equipped with weapon system that is interestingly also doubles up as your life bar. Each have their own weapons, having its own strengths and weakness that you can actually help you to progress with this game. The main mechanics in Sturmwind is that each weapon system represents the player's energy bar, in a way, and being hit by an enemy projectile while operating one of them, it means that you will lose the ability to use it. Lose all three and your ship is then done. But it has to be said the checkpoints are pretty frequent, so it's not too bad at all just to get back into this game. And also the loading times are pretty nice as well. It's really nice to see the quality that this indie game has brought to the system with its full motion video introduction and background interaction, including very high details throughout the game, making it a very enjoyable and immersive experience. The visuals of the game have a classic smut feel, but with further unique details to itself, with a great space installation drifting in the background, with monstrous creatures lurking in the deep waters, ready to snap at you at any second. You of course get your typical shmup massive bosses that basically tape up most of the screen. For the most, the part bosses are fairly predictable and the bullet patterns are fairly basic, although it must be said, Sturmwind can be one hard game, even on its normal settings. But once you get started getting used to it with his backwards and forwards, toggling his fire weapon and seeing that game over screen quite a lot, you'll then get into this pretty nicely. Sturmwind did actually start his life on the Atari Jaguar CD, and it was going to be called Native, but development was eventually switched to the Dreamcast due to the actual system's more advanced technical abilities, in which you can actually still locate the original Jaguar demo online and download it for yourself. The main thing that really sets Sturmwind apart from not only the majority of its indie titles on the Dreamcast, but also its official library, is that it offers extra features that you would expect to see in an official game, but at a decent sized game development team. With its achievements, unlockable content and online leaderboards are also included. You can also even record replays of your gameplay if you have the SD card plugin. The presentation of the game still wouldn't look out of place if it was released on the PlayStation 4 or Nintendo Switch. With its gorgeous visuals, its pretty thumping music, and also highly detailed enemy ships and stunning pre-rendered backgrounds. If this game was released in the heyday of the Dreamcast, this title would still even make itself known, being one of the better or even perhaps the best shmup on the console. Sturmwind is easily one of the best indie titles released. Now with eBay prices going stupid, this reprint is now making it more vastly welcoming to newer players and collectors out there. Now, as I did mention at the beginning of the video, I wanted to show the Classic Compatibility. So this is what it originally looks like with my original setup, and now this is what it looks like with the Classic. Basically, it is upscaling the 480p signal to 1440p signal, but because of how I'm capturing at the moment and my compatibility with my PC, it is only capturing that then at 720p. But I am using a level height adapter with just polish a nice clean signal, but it does actually struggle with some of the brightness and colors. But to do that, I just actually changed the settings on my Elgato, and now this actually polishing up the actual image pretty nicely. So an awesome title. I'm glad to actually put this in the rest of my independent game collection. And I'm happy now to make more content for you. So as always, if you like this video, hit that button. If you want to help me support the channel, click subscribe, leave your comments below, and I'll catch you lot on the next video.